Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of 1000 Gurus. My name is Jerry Cruz and I'm your host for the show. So today's episode is featuring a friend of mine, Shirley, and let me read her bio. Shirley Wu is co-founder and director of a creative Kpop dance team called SHERO. She's also the co-founder of International Kpop Dance Association. She's an instructor at Offstage by GRV Dance Studio and has taught classes at KPC, YG Dance Studio, VibesLA, and more. In this episode, we cover a large range of topics, starting from her growing up in the San Gabriel Valley, aka the 626 area. We are both foodies actually, so we chat a little bit about our experiences being Yelp Elite, as well as some of our favorite video games. And then later we find out that we have some of the same major dance influences growing up and during our separate high school dance journeys. And then lastly, we touch upon her starting the reputable SHERO Dance Team with her co-founders and some of the challenges of starting a team and being leadership and kind of building that team. So it was a really good conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's always nice to connect with another leader of an organization to get their mindsets on things. So without further ado, hope you enjoyed this episode with the amazing Shirley Wu. All right, welcome to the show, Shirley.
Oh, hello.
Applause. I know all of our studio audience.
It's fun.
Cool. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you taking out the time on this beautiful Saturday. I know you have some stuff afterwards, but yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, this is my first time. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
I don't get a lot of experiences with podcasts,
Yeah.
so this is my first time actually.
Yeah, I think for most people, most of my guests, it's like their first or maybe second.
Yeah.
Even myself, I've been on 2 different podcasts, like during the pandemic with my girlfriend, or Blessing and I, but that was pretty much, it was like all Zoom. So it's like never in person.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
so it's pretty fun.
Very nice.
Yeah. So it's a fun new experience for all of us. So let me just go straight into, well, I've already read your bio for the audience, but let me just go into like how I know you. I remember when we first met, we were both competing in like Kpop dance competitions, like IKCF. That must have been like, 7 years ago, if not more, something like that. And you were in high school?
Yes. That's actually my first time seeing you. I'm like, oh, that's the guy who does flips.
Yes, I'm the flip
Crazy.
guy. Yeah. And then you were like, oh my God, this high school girl is just killing it on stage. That was what our group was thinking. So yeah, we both competed. And then like I followed your dance career since then. And then you were also on GRV.
So actually, it was under the GRV company.
Oh, right.
But I was under Groove, which is an adult training team.
Yeah. And then a few years back, you started SHERO, which is a creative Kpop dance team. Mm-hmm. Any other clarifications on that?
It was just Groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that part.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know the audience. Groove it's not like how do I say this? It's a very high-end team. If you see any Groove dancers, they're pretty intense. And then seeing Shirley in Groove videos and performances and stuff, you're like, oh yeah, that fits. Because Shirley's a really good dancer. You'll see her IG and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
I wanted to just go into your origin story. We haven't really talked much, we're friends, but I wanted to get into your origin story, like where you grew up, what you've been up to, hobbies, influences, school, background, career, stuff like that. You want to just walk us through?
What should I start with first?
I don't know. Where'd you grow up and main influences?
Okay, so I grew up from San Gabriel Valley, known as like the 626 area. Starting from there, it's growing up, it's kind of like a bubble. A lot of us we grew up from the same traditions and culture. So a lot of them is very Chinese American or just Asian American in general, but dominantly Chinese. So a lot of my friends, we grew up from the same traditions and then we have the same values. So it's also similar to the stereotype where you say, oh, the parents will be like, you have to focus on studies, you gotta make sure you got to do well in school and don't get distracted.
Yeah.
So it's similar to that. And then with school, it's also pretty competitive, but for myself, I wouldn't say I'm too competitive, but I did focus on studies. So with
like
that,
competitive academically?
Yes, competitive academically. So it's always like the friends, oh, what score did you get? I was like, oh, what's your GPA? Oh, where are you applying to school? Kind of thing for college. Yeah, with San Gabriel, there's also a lot of Chinese food. So it's considered like the second Chinatown. Yeah. Well, I guess the main Chinatown. There's a Chinatown in LA, but it's kind of like dead. But then a lot of people go there. Yeah. There's a lot of tourists over there as well, especially this one street called Valley Boulevard. They even build a lot more hotels there too. Mainly just a lot of, it's also known for just Chinese food and just the culture and yeah.
So really quick, What Chinese? Okay,
Yeah.
so the first time I did go to San Gabriel Valley, I had my friend recommended Hainan chicken rice.
Oh yeah.
So good. And I know there's a bunch of places, and I've only been to a couple. But do you have any recommendations for any food in SGV?
Well, for Hainan chicken, me and my parents, we always go to this place called Eat. They're more, I think it's Malaysian or Singaporean, but they're best known for the Hainan chicken. I think another one was called Savoy. That was like a classic one. And then, well, for me personally, so visitors to San Gabriel, I usually tell them to go to Jirong. I really like Peking duck. So that's, you get the wrap and you put the Peking duck in it, and then you like wrap it up. And yeah, it's really nice. I would say that one. It's also modern, but also very traditional. So it's like a good introduction for others to try it.
Okay. Okay, so I guess quick tangent while we're on the topic of food. So I know you're a Yelp elite,
Yes.
myself included. So how did you get into being a foodie, aside from your obvious enthusiasm for food?
Yeah.
And then what has it been like since then?
So me and my sisters, we actually really like to try new food places. Even coming here, since I'm not really in Long Beach that often, so let's just find something new. So that's why I tried Star Bread, because I always see on TikTok like all the señorita bread. Oh yeah, the question was going to food. Yeah, so then for that on Yelp, I just kind of like to type reviews just actually for myself, because when I go back to the restaurant, I want to see what items I actually liked or disliked. So with Yelp reviews, I talk about, parking, prices, how the vibe is like, how the food tastes. And once I come back to it, I just see and say, oh yeah, I remember like this, I'll come back. And then after that, I was recommended to join the elite squad. And then from there, I just got on it. And after that, I was selected to be on the Elite on Fire. That's like their new program
What is
thing.
that?
It's supposed. So I went to the last Yelp Elite event, which is like a boba, I don't know.
Event?
Yeah. And then they're saying like the Yelp on Fire, it's the top 10 or top 5% of Yelp elites in the area. So I was selected. And then with that, the perk is that you get to have main priority for all the elite events that you sign up for.
So it's like another tier of nomination, and then you get in, and then you get like more front of the line for the elite events? Oh, okay.
I think that's different every month too.
Oh, okay.
So you could be Elite on Fire for 1 month, but not the next. I think it depends on how much reviews are right.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is it like to be Yelp elite for the audience? Maybe people who are, it's crazy because I know we both use Yelp, and I know like people like, oh, what do you recommend, Jared? I'm like, I don't know, I just Yelp. Like,
Really?
But so what is it like to be Yelp elite?
I think it's really nice to hear about their backstories for all the businesses, especially the small businesses too. But then for me, it's free food, yay! And you get I like the perks that they all also have too with the free goodies. But it's really cool to try, especially the new restaurants that they open up and they have the Yelp Elite. You get to taste a lot on their menus. For me, it's I like to order a lot of dishes, but then I just want to try a little bit.
Right.
So then with the Yelp Elite events, it's you get to try this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and it's this is really nice. Yeah.
So it's for people who don't know, when you join Yelp Elite and you either get nominated or you apply for it, and then a community manager like reviews your profile and they're like, okay, like this person's active and they have good reviews and photos. So then when you join, like you get a newsletter every so often of like, here are the events, or you can go onto their event site and be like, here's Yelp Elite events. And then you RSVP. And then if the community manager, if you get in and they select you for that event, then you can go, and there's a lot of free food. And sometimes it's not just food. Sometimes it's, I don't know. I went to this like mattress pillow thing, and then like they gave us free pillows.
I heard.
That was a long time ago. Or like the end of the year ones where sometimes there's like these big events where it's like all these vendors and you get so full, and you can even take some stuff home, like regular food, drinks, and alcohol sometimes. Like they throw these crazy, like it's really good perks. I always recommend people to do it.
I heard for that event, someone got a mattress.
Oh, really?
They give away a mattress.
I'm sure it was like a giveaway or something like that. I think for most of us, we got at least like the pillow. Yeah. But yeah, there's a raffle for like a mattress. So and that's like $800 or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Really cool. I've been trying to tell Blessy to do more Yelp like reviews so she can get in. Even the community manager for Long Beach is, oh yeah, I let in Blessy for the last event, and she writing reviews still. I'm like, I'm always telling her like,
really,
we can have free food for 2 people or free food for 1 person, then split it. But,
exactly. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
I think that's also. You knew Steven.
Yeah.
So
Steven,
he's my boyfriend, and then he tried to get onto Yelp Elite too, but then he would write like a whole story on that review. And then I would say the one thing about YelpLA is that you need to be consistent with reviews. He would just write one whole story out for one restaurant, and then he might not. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, you should continue, and he would just forget it.
Yeah, that's the same with Blessy too. She's like, I don't go to all the places. I'm like, you do. And she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna save it for later. I'm like, well, free food. Because the thing is, like, whenever we get something, I normally can't finish all of it by myself. So I'm like, oh, do you want some of it? And I'm like, we could be having 2 of these. But now we just have 1.
That's right.
But yeah.
Oh, Blessy. Get on it.
Yeah. Whenever you see her, just kind of nudge her. Be like, hey, did you
see you after this.
Yeah.
Hey, Blessy.
Hey, did you have any reviews today? Let's see. Do you have any? I know neither of us work for Yelp, but what are some tips to become a Yelp elite?
Main thing, consistency. I think it doesn't matter how lengthy it should be, as long as you have the main points, like how it tastes. It does actually say on the top where you write the review, it says ambiance. I forgot the other
quality food or
service? Something like that.
I do those 3. I do like price, service, and like quality or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, they have like ambiance and stuff like that, which I think makes sense. Because think about like, if you were going to a restaurant, what do you want to see? What is the vibe like? Or what is the prices like? Or what's the food like?
Yep. I think as long as you hit those points, and it doesn't have to be too long, but then just keep writing reviews for several restaurants and you're good.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. So aside from being a big foodie, do you have any other hobbies outside of obviously dance that we'll touch on?
Other hobbies, let's see. I do have my dog. So if I'm not really posting about dance, I post pictures of my dog with that. So I go to the dog parks and then gym. And then, let's see, I do play a lot of video games. And then,
what video games are you playing?
Right now, recently I've been playing Wukong.
Oh, Wukong. I keep seeing clips of it. How's it?
So frustrating.
It's
really? Like fun, but not fun.
Okay.
Because it's fun, you want to continue. Oh, you gotta kill it. But then it's not fun because you keep dying.
Oh, so it's like really challenging?
It's really challenging. People relate it as a Souls game, which I actually never really tried something like that. Okay. So then when I first experienced that, I'm like, oh, I get it. It's annoying. But yeah.
Okay.
It's really fun.
The only thing I know about it, aside from clips, is that it's like a one-player game and it's like an adventure type game.
Yep.
But is it like a Final Fantasy? You have to grind and level up and stuff, or is it more story-based? Or
I would say it's more about grinding.
Okay.
You have to get the specific items. I think it's ability points. So you have to acquire these ability points to always take advantage of the next bosses. But yeah, I am actually a really big fan of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my gosh, I'm such a huge fan too. I haven't played any of the recent ones because I've been like I'm sober from video games for 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah, at least it's my guilty pleasure. I could play for hours.
Oh, what was the last game you played?
The last game I played was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, wow.
And that took me like 2 months from start to finish. Not to fully complete, but after that I was like, okay, I gotta stop. Because it's just so much time and I have other things I need to do.
That's very true.
But yeah, video games are my guilty pleasure. What do you play on?
PS5.
Oh, PS5? Okay. Yeah. See, I also need a PS5.
Yeah. So with that, I guess the most recent or most favorite recent, it would be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There's so much to do in that game. And then also it's like I played 80 plus hours on it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And when I played Kingdom Hearts in high school, I must have, maybe I'm inflating it, but at least like 80, 100 hours or something like that.
Wow.
I don't even know if that's a lot. If that's a little, I don't know. But because it was a long time ago, but I remember we were like, okay, before I go to college, I'm just going to just play all these games and then just put it away. But yeah, so much fun.
Wait, which one?
It was not, that was before the third one came out. So it was only 1 and 2.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think it was the second one. Yeah, so I haven't even touched the third one, even though it came out during college, I think, for me. But
also, you don't know about the story.
No, not really. But I love the world and everything.
Yeah. High-key, the story is very confusing.
No, for real. Before the third one came out, I was following like the other games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wait, what is going on?
Yeah, there's like Aqua.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
There's like the DS games or something like that.
Oh yeah, those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, let me just watch a playthrough or the summaries and stuff because I'm like, I'm not gonna get to it.
Yep. And the whole Kingdom Hearts war about that is like, what's going on? It's like it's kind of hard to tie everything together.
Yeah.
But there's just so much information.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, another pivot before we change our main topic. So, like, where did you go to school? What did you study? And, like, what is your career now? Because actually, I don't know.
High school or just college or?
College and then, career. I don't know.
Okay.
In general.
Well, I went in San Gabriel. I went to Gabriel High School. It was one of the newer high schools during that time. And then after that, I went to UCR, University of California, Riverside. And so I majored in business econ. Actually, so my family has their own business. We do kitchenware wholesale products. So we have our warehouse in Pomona, which we sell to different vendors. As long as you have a business license, we sell everything by bulk. And we also sell to others out of state too. So with that, well, honestly, my initial dream was I want to be a K-pop idol.
Okay.
and so I was really focused on, dancing, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to try to sing. And after that, so then during the time in college, my sister's just like, you need to pick a major. So then it was business econ. And I already knew where I was going to end up in, which is working for my family. So then that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, so it's like family business then.
Yes.
Sorry, do you have siblings?
I have 2 older sisters.
Okay, so do they also work business or do they do other stuff?
My second sister was also a business econ. She actually worked with us for the family for a little bit, and then she had to move to NorCal. And then my older sister, she works for an accounting firm in LA.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So is the plan just to take over the family business, keep doing that? Or do you have any like other side aspirations or anything?
Yeah, so then, well, they're currently near retirement. So once they do plan on retiring, they would lend the business down to me. For me personally, I am scared to try it.
Yeah.
But then, I'm open to it. And then I do want to continue the business. I want to see how it goes maybe for a few years and then see from there.
Okay, cool. So what aspect of the business like do you do? I'm curious. Like, yeah, what do you do? And like, I don't know if there are any challenges or stuff like that.
Honestly, well, my parents are very traditional. So then a lot of the workers there are also older, traditional Chinese warehouse workers.
Okay.
And then for me, it's very chill.
Okay, that's cool.
I do have a lot of time during the day that I can also work on SHERO. A lot of just documents or like organization. But other than that, it's just be taking phone calls or taking orders or handling the website. Also recently recreated the product catalog. It'll also be taking product photography and editing. It's kind of pretty much, since I'm the only or English speaker there, I had to handle more of the
like cross communication
Yes.
stuff. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, on that topic, so now we'll get to K-pop, dance, and everything like that. So what is your, so I know you just mentioned that, your initial dream was like to become a K-pop idol.
Yes.
So what's like your dance background, and then how'd you get into K-pop?
Dance background. Okay. So, from the very, very beginning in middle school, I started with sea walking because everyone started doing it. So, oh, this is cool. So I learned how to sea walk. And then after that, I saw America's Best Dance Crew. And then I saw Jabberwockies. And I'm like, wow, they're so cool too. And they started doing baby mills. Oh my gosh, I want to learn that too. So then that's when I started breaking.
Yeah.
And then
I
after
didn't know you
that,
break.
yeah, I did that maybe for three years.
Oh, okay.
Or so.
In middle school, high school?
High school.
Okay.
So middle school was sea walk, and then later it was like high school. It was starting to do breaking. So then I did find a group of friends, and they would have like sessions. They would bring out, the cardboard
Yeah.
and just put on the floor, go outside the plaza or something, and we started like freestyling or sessioning. So there's that, and then Taeyang's wedding dress dropped, and I'm like, wow, this is cool too. So I'm like, wow, I'm gonna learn how to dance K-pop. So I learned the choreography for wedding dress, and then I saw Girls' Generation. I'm like, oh my god, they're so cute and pretty. I was like, oh, I need to learn that too. So after that is when I started the K-pop journey.
Okay. So then no breakdancing anymore?
No.
Yeah, like, no, not really.
But then I think the most recent thing I did was maybe last year, my friend Subin, she asked me to do one of the videos for Street Women Fighter, and then one of them required breakdancing. And so I was like, oh, okay, I guess I should do something.
Nice.
She wanted me to fill in that spot. So I had to pull up, some stick step,
Yeah,
I don't know, some coffee grinder,
Yeah.
that stuff. And then actually, it's funny, like in the comments there, it was like, oh, there's an actual B girl in this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's nice. My breaking
Nice.
experience paid off.
Pays off.
Yeah.
Did you learn from people, or did you have like teachers, or did you just kind of like friends and you kind of just learn stuff as you go, like from videos?
Yeah, so back then, for me, I was self-taught for everything. My middle school life is I played a lot of MapleStory.
Yeah.
That was my second life. So it'll be like coming back from school, I just go on Maple, play with my friends, level up, grind and everything. And after that is when for dancing. For these type of hobbies, I would feel bad for asking my parents to, I need to pay for something to learn. But, from YouTube, everything's free. So then I looked up like tutorials, or it's one of those how-to.com or how-to dance things. So then they will be like, oh, you need to learn, you do this step, woo, kind of thing. So I learned everything from YouTube, from middle school to, I would say, college. Yeah. All from just sea walk, breaking,
Yeah.
K-pop, everything.
Nice. I feel like we have similar inflection points. right? Because so my friends and I also, we kind of just freestyle and learned as we go from videos and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then Wedding Dress came out too.
Oh,
And
nice.
I was like, no, sorry, Jabberwockies for
Oh.
me for high school. And I swear to you, like when I graduated senior year, my friend and I, we would sign all of our like yearbooks as like JR from Jabberwockies.
Wow.
Like we were so into. We had the shirts,
Oh
the
my gosh.
outfits, and like the
Oh
masks.
yeah, the Hitchazoo.
Yeah, so we would. That was like my senior year was just being Jabberwockies.
Oh my God.
So that was like they
Yeah.
started me on the path of like dancing.
Oh, same.
And that's why I wanted to go to SoCal and like dance with like, the SoCal scene. And then my first year is when Wedding Dress came out, and my friend sent it to me. And like within 7 seconds, I closed the browser because I'm like, this guy's too good. I can't watch this.
Wow.
So I was like, and I eventually watched it later, but then
Yeah.
and then Girls' Generation as well.
Wow.
So it was like those same points.
Oh my gosh. Wait, you're not from SoCal? I thought you were.
No, I'm from NorCal. I'm from
Oh, you were?
yeah, from the Bay. Yeah, so
Oh.
born and raised, 18 years until I went to UCI, and then I've been sent down here since.
Oh, wait, what city in NorCal?
Fremont. Are you familiar with the area?
Oh, that's where Steven's kind of from.
You
Either
know,
Fremont or
wait,
Union
Mission
City.
is? Did he go to Mission?
Mission?
What school did he go to?
You went to UCI too?
No, but like high school. Do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I would assume because he's Asian, he went to Mission because that's
Oh,
that's how
I'll ask
Asians
him.
Go.
I'll
Yeah,
ask
because
him.
half my friends went there.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
didn't
so
know that.
yeah, Bay Area, and then just went to UCI and then started dancing since then.
Oh, so
Yeah.
we're inspired from the dance scene.
Yeah, no, because like
Oh.
Jabberwockies and Kpop Modern, and I was like, well, Kpop Modern's at UCI, so I should go to UCI.
So that's why you play.
Exactly, and
Oh.
I only went to SoCal for dance. Like,
Wow.
it was just like okay, I had a friend who also went to UCI, but then I knew Kpop Modern was here, and I also knew that other teams like CG was here
Oh,
and
yeah.
like other teams. But
Like
yeah, so
Quest Crew.
so like everyone was down there. I know that I heard that the dance scene in SoCal was crazy at the
Mm.
time, so I'm like, okay, might as well. It wasn't actually for studying, so I think we're kind of
Studying.
in the same boat too. We're like, yeah, studying, whatever.
Did your family know that?
Yeah, no, they're super supportive. They're like, yeah, just do what you want,
Aw.
and I was like, okay, just do your best.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So dancing. So how did you get? So okay. So you liked dance, and then you did all these styles, and you got to K-pop.
Yes.
How did you get? Like, how did you find like groove, and then get into that scene, and like choreo or urban or modern dancing?
With that, I think at some point I just got tired of K-pop dance. It was getting very, I would say, a bit repetitive. I kind of want to try something new, and I would say with K-pop dance, it's very like in a box. You don't get to expand as much as a dancer because I feel like K-pop is more about just performance. That was back then, but now it's a lot harder now.
Right.
But then, so then there's that, and then there was group, and it was I think it was their first gen that they were trying out for, and so I was like, oh, let me just try it, and I just did it for fun. And I was like, oh, I ended up. Well, actually, it was really hard for me, but I really
got it,
enjoyed
but it's hard, you know.
Yeah, because then for me, it's like I never really did anything else besides K-pop or like self teaching dance. So with Brew, it was like everything was really fast paced. I'm like, oh, I can't take my time, with the videos. I can't just pause it or I just can't rewind it back. So it was like really like eye-opening experience.
So how was it like adjusting to that? I know you just said like it was hard because it was like a higher pace, but for anyone who knows, like cover dancing, you can kind of go at your own pace, like what Shirley said. But when you get to comp level dancing or even like GRV or groove level dancing, that's like all these dancers have been dancing for years and they've been trained. They dance like they have the best mentors. So like how did you make that jump? Because I imagine that's really difficult from just cover dancing and then B-girling and stuff.
It was challenging.
Yeah.
But then for me personally, it did help me a lot because I didn't really have a lot of foundations with dance because everything was just from like video. So a lot of it, they would have different teachers who like teach their own piece. And then once you teach that piece, it's like they test your pickup, execution, textures. You do learn a lot about like also like how to freestyle and other different foundations of style. So then with that, it's like they teach a piece and then the next week you have to practice it kind of throughout the week. And then they do like groups where they have the original choreographer, they will watch you and then they'll give you notes after that. So then it's more like you learn a piece and then you practice on your own and then prepare for groups. So for that, I practice a lot. Because then, for me, it's if I don't practice, I'm going to feel terrible by myself.
Right.
But then it did really help me a lot. I did learn a lot and how they taught me how to see different things in dance. So that really expanded my knowledge of just in general of how to dance.
So there's a lot of structure, mentorship, and like process to grow with dancers with the feedback loops, and then people just practicing at that like level of standards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty intense. But I mean, if you've ever seen like a groove or a GRV or any of those pieces, you can tell that like people work really, really hard when they're part of those teams.
Especially, so they do have like the showcases where the other teams like GRV or Gravy, Even like the first time watching Gravy. Oh my God, they're so good.
The little kids.
The little kids, I feel like they're actually like, they're just like so small and they work, or they move so much more quicker. I feel like they also pick up faster because then I feel like they're just soaking choreography even better. Sponges. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because for most people, like, you know, seeing little kids dance is very inspiring. For me, it's very demotivating. I'm like, I don't even dance. Like these little 5-year-olds dance way better than I do.
Good.
I know they're so good. That's also the reason why, like, when I've gone to Japan a few times and I'm like, I swear I'm not going to dance because my worst fear is like some 4-year-old comes out of nowhere and starts like, if I dance, then they start battling me and then I lose to a 4-year-old Japanese kid and I'm like, God damn it, I'm not dancing anymore.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so like little kids demotivate me, but they inspire everyone else. Cool. All right, so let's move on. So dancing, and then so how long did you do Groove for?
I think they started around 2018, 17. I was there for about 2 years. Okay. So then for that, so it was after college, and then I joined Groove, and then I was there for just about 2 years, and then that's when COVID happened, and that's when they had to like kind of shut everything down. Right. It's no more practices, no more meetups, and after that, I wanted to continue Groove too, but then after that, it's now I'm kind of like, so when the pandemic happened, it does get boring. It's, you do miss dancing with friends, and so that's how we started SHERO.
Okay, perfect.
So we made it.
I was just about to ask. All right, so then how did SHERO come about? So what was the idea, the inspiration? And I know you just said, okay, there was COVID and I want to dance with people, so maybe that's part of it. But so how did SHERO come about?
Yes, so with dance, I think when you dance a certain style, for me, I get bored of it. So after that, so then once getting into just hip hop and that type of choreography, I miss K-pop. Before it was like, I'm tired of K-pop. It's like, I miss K-pop.
It's like a relationship. It's like, I'll take a break. I miss you.
I know. So then, I'm tired of hearing just like American hip hop music. Yeah. So it's funny. There's like a competition in the San Gabriel area. Also doing like a Chinese New Year festival. So then that's where I actually bumped into Linda. Linda's like a high school friend of mine, and she's also a co-founder of SHERO. There's so many directions. But then, so Linda is like one of my high school friends too. So that we actually met in middle school, and then we were like the only nerdy ones who liked K-pop. Before K-pop was like kind of cheesy. Yeah. No one really liked K-pop. But so it's like me and Linda. Her favorite was SHINee, and my favorite was Girls' Generation. I was like, also we talked a lot about like K-pop during that time. So after that, back to Groove. So then I bumped into her during a practice. So she was on GRV, and then, it's like, hey, and then we kind of rekindled after that. And then I saw the competition. I'm like, hey, Linda, let's do this competition together. So then she knew some friends, and then we just kind of gathered together, and then we we entered that competition together. I think there was also like Sola, I think Choreos also performed.
Okay. It was like some Chinese New Year thing?
In San Gabriel, I think Ellen and Brian also judged.
Oh. Did they? Okay. Now in my head, I'm thinking, well, what did we do there?
I think Sola did like some AT song. Because I remember.
This was 2020? 2019?
2019? 2019 or 2020?
I want to say they did a song. Dun, 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 dun. Is that NCT?
NCT? Maybe.
Yeah, anyways.
But yeah, I remember seeing them, and I was like, oh no, it's okay, because we were like just random dancers. We're not like part of the community yet. And they're like, oh my God, I was like, are they gonna compete? I was like, oh no. And then after that, so then we did place third, and we're like, oh wow, people liked us. Yeah. So and then we just talked about it after. Okay, so what if we make this like legit and stuff? And then a few months later, we're like, oh okay, let's just start a channel. Let's see what happens. So that's where it came about, and then. Later, it was when COVID happened. Everything started shutting down. And then during the time, some friends wanted to still gather and make covers. So that's when we just made covers for fun. And then it kind of just went up from there.
Okay. So start off as like a project for this competition.
Yep.
And then from there, like COVID happened, but then more people wanted to still do covers.
Yep.
And then from there, you guys made it like a legit like team where like it's like an official roster or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of it was just like trial. Right. So we're like, let's just try it for fun and see what happens. And like, no, it's getting big. Yeah. We have to establish our name now. We have to establish this now. Okay. So, I mean, like, it's really good that it's like taking off like really well. Yeah. So it did start from like the pandemic era, and it did actually help us a lot because with YouTube algorithm, there was actually not a lot of people posting covers. So it did help us boost because we were the ones posting during the COVID time.
That makes sense. Taking advantage of the lull.
Yeah.
Nice. So I have a few different like questions. So what was it like kind of starting a team? Just for context, like Shiro is like one of my favorite teams in SoCal area. And for this competition K Factor, they've placed first place twice, right? Which is unheard of. No one has ever done that.
Really?
And I don't think so.
Oh.
Can you tell me? I don't know. I was like, you guys have placed twice,
Really?
placed first twice, and at least not consecutively. But what I was gonna say, yeah, Linda's amazing too. Linda's like a crazy dancer. Again, if you see like any videos on Instagram, she's insane. Linda and Shirley are like a crazy power duo.
Oh.
But I guess starting a team like that, what was it like? I know you said during the pandemic and making covers, but what was it like establishing that structure? I think the spirit of the question is, as another leader and founder of different teams and projects, it's very tough because you have to kind of establish like what your team is all about, what the vision or direction is, and then the culture, because then that also kind of dictates the people that you bring in, and then how you enforce like policies or rules and things like that. Because every team is built differently, just like a different company. So I guess what was the general idea for Shiro once you guys decided, okay, let's make it an official team? And then what was, I don't say like struggles or challenges, but what was like that process like building the team to where it is now?
So then we do have another friend. Her name is Vio. She's another co-founder of ours too. And she actually used to run a studio in Monterey Park called MAD. So she also knew she had a lot of team experiences and a lot of building. So during that time, unfortunately, I wasn't able to help a lot because my parents wanted me to be very cautious about seeing people. So it was mainly from the very beginning, it was a lot of with Linda and Vio. So a lot of them with the projects, and mostly a lot of the members. The founding members, a lot of us are full-time employees and we do value our time. So then we had to make practices very organized and scheduled. We go, okay, we have to start this time. And at this time, we need to have 10 minutes for verse 1, 10 minutes for chorus or something. So we make a whole schedule for that. And we always have a goal for each practice. Chorus has to be done today. Dance break has to be done today. And we have to make it very efficient, very organized because, we have to work. So the next day, like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., with that structure, a lot of us we're kind of like similar age. That's why. So we're a lot much older than Kpop dance scenes. So we would know how to arrange it and organize it schedulely. And then so it'll be more efficient and for everyone too. So with the structure, it'll be like that. And then...
Did you have a specific vision as like the founders of Shiro, what you guys wanted to build it towards? And second thing is like, what type of culture did you want to build?
So then there's so many thoughts in my head.
Yeah, go for it. I remember when you were telling me before when I asked you that you wanted to be like a professional dance team that can do opportunities and kind of like put themselves out there like that, which is why you put in emphasis. One of the things I admire about Shiro is that you guys have a very the polish is not the word I'm looking for, but very professional, but also very high level image that you guys put forward, because you guys do a lot with like costumes, your filming, like your like locations, dance quality, performance. I think Shiro's head and shoulders, like you guys hold yourself to higher standards. As someone from the outside who admires you guys, that's what I see. And then when I asked you about it, you're like, yeah, we want to put out work that we're proud of, but also have these opportunities and do them.
Oh, yes. So then from the very beginning, when we were just a no name, it was at the very beginning, it was our goal is we want to be respected by the dance community. Of course, there's like Choreos, Sola, a lot of many other teams. And we want to be known and be recognized for like our work and be up to that par too, as well as your team. So then from that is that we had to just we did have to focus a lot on just like the YouTube algorithm. It's more like you have to have fast covers, how you have to be public. From there, we always had to try different things or different methods on YouTube to try to see how to be successful. And then that's when you have to see like location change. You have to do maybe like outfit change or just how fast you need to learn. Because there's some cover dancers like on the different stage, they're like learn to dance like on the night of and they post it the next day. So before then we were like, we have to get this out like as soon as possible. Or maybe we should try like a 24-hour challenge, kind of like that. So from there, it's like we really wanted to work hard just to be recognized by the other dance communities from the K-pop scene. From there, then that's when K Factor happened. So then after that, we did our first competition set, and surprisingly, yeah, we won first. So me and Linda, we also valued a lot for original choreography, especially when covers, they do get very limited on dance execution. So we want to also expand our creativity and showcase what we can do too. So from there, we just wanted to build a reputation. That was like our first 1 to 2 years. And after that, it's, now slowly we're getting recognized, and that's when we're hoping to get more opportunities and just grow. So right now we're just working as hard as we can so we can get even more opportunities and working with maybe like businesses or labels and get like better collabs too. So that's what we wanted to do for SHERO.
Nice. I like that. So it's like first like few years was developing yourselves as a team and developing that reputation, putting out that quality and forming the team. And then after that sounds like opportunities and kind of continuing that growth from there. Do you guys have a vision for the future of SHERO? Like how long do you plan on doing it forever or stepping back a certain time? Or I don't want to worry any SHERO members. I don't know if SHERO's leaving like next year or anything like that. But what is the longer term vision for SHERO?
In terms of leadership, as of right now, it's just currently me and Vio. It's mainly us two working for or just managing the entire team. Right now, we're currently about like 30 members, but maybe
that's crazy, actually.
Yeah, but then our founding members, they're actually like maybe out of state because then there's some of them are like still in school or they're just too far away to actually do covers now. And then some is like Vio, and then we have another member they're located in Seattle now, but they still work a lot of things remotely. She'll still work on like graphics or YouTube channel. So they still put a lot of effort into that. And then currently for that, sorry. I think I went away from the topic again.
Oh, good. Okay, you touched on something like that. You said you have founding members who help out, and it's you and Vio. Would you say that is like the roster for your leadership?
Yes. Okay. Just two of us right now.
That's crazy because for a team of 30 or something like that, for choreos, we usually have around like low to like mid to high 30s. But our L-ship is consistently, if we want to do a good job, at least 6 people. And now we're up to 11. And even then, it's so hard to wrangle so many different people. So like I commend you guys for doing it with 2 people and then obviously help. So I wanted to ask, so how is it like dealing with that number of team? Like, do you have any challenges or things you had to overcome? And I know, to step back from that too, I know that for some context, a lot of teams that I know of, like project teams or regular teams, they start off as like a group of high school friends or group of college friends. And it's not the same as you guys are like, oh, we're all working. So we need to be really efficient and organized. And so that's what I think also makes you guys stand out is that there's that efficiency there. But like, how did you go about like tackling like the idea of what kind of culture you want to build and or managing 30 plus people?
I think so. After having our first year of auditions, that's when we started opening up. So then the very founding team, we're all like full-time employees. So we're all used to being very scheduled. And then once we open it to auditions, that's where we got younger people. So then it's like maybe like college students or maybe like even high school students. So then with auditions, we became also more selective with also dance skill. And then after the auditions, we do an interview with them. So we ask them about their background, like their schedule, or like how would you think about like different scenarios? Or maybe say if you're not able to get this role, like how would you feel? Or during competition season, maybe we'll even practice even longer hours. How would you feel? Kind of thing. So we give them a whole bunch of questions to see and how they would react. So we also check their like personality and see maybe if they also fit well with us, if they're able to work best with this timely schedule during our practices.
Okay. How about, you guys still produce a lot of different covers, and I know it's just not you two like running the show. So I'm assuming there's some sort of level of empowerment or, allowing people to lead their own covers and produce themselves. Like, is that what you kind of focus on? Is okay, let us give them like the tools and skills to lead their own covers, so you're not having to do everything, or is there some sort of in between of how that works?
Somewhat. So for new leaders, we have our handbook and we send it to them and they're like, okay, as a cover. So our position is there's a cover leader, dance leader, maybe a practice leader. Cover leader organizes everything. Dance leader checks the cleaning for the dance. And then just that. And then sometimes I would have to come in and say, or tell them, or check how they're doing. So then with the dances, if they're not as precise enough or they should drill more, then would let them know. And we also, I will also be monitoring how everyone's practices are. So then if there's something just not as close to the choreo, then I'll let them know. And maybe you should take notes of this person. Or if their performance facials might not be up to par, we'll also let them know. So, maybe be aware of this person and see how they're doing. And then Yeah, mainly those are the two crucial roles for the cover. So it's just cover leader and dance leader. And from there, if they do their first project, then they'll be more experienced with the next future projects.
Okay, cool. So then you have the cover leader and the dance leader, but then you might do some like quality control of like the dance wise and like step in if needed.
Yes.
Gotcha. What are some of the like biggest challenge for leading and running a team like this? Do you have any that come to mind? Or is it just super easy for you? It's like
it's not it's not easy. Well, okay, honestly for me, I never thought of myself to be in a leadership role. I would say to be as a good leader, you need to have a team that trusts you and to have a voice that everyone can follow you. But then for me, I am like very soft spoken. I'm so introverted, and even for public speaking, it's like, it makes me so nervous. Yeah. And then for SHERO, I got put onto leadership. So then from there is that the most challenging thing for me is just a mental barrier. So it's more, I have to keep practicing. I have to be more firm. I have to, sometimes like you don't have to be, or you can't be too nice with that. So then from there is, you have to push other people. Maybe you have to be clear with what you say. Or you can't just beat around the bush and maybe they won't get to the point. But then you have to be very firm. So there was just a lot of things that I learned being as a leader, especially since I'm not used to that type of environment. But then from SHERO, I learned a lot from this experience. Yeah.
What do you think motivates people to be engaged and do like really high quality work? I think one of the challenges I think with leadership is like leadership will always care more because it's like the ownership of the team, right? But how do you create a team or inspire that sort of motivation with each member that they want to be there and do good work and not just kind of lower their standards to something else? Like how do you maintain or encourage like standards and how do you like motivate your team?
I think it's usually the results that we see. So I think depending on the videos that get produced and see how they resulted in. So then maybe say if it's a K-pop in public cover, if it's fast, then it's it's like 100,000 or something. And then like, wow, they kind of want to do something like that too. And especially with styling, we also do, so even with our outfits, we spend maybe average around like $100 for each cover. So then for that, and then people see our outfits like, oh, wow, we look really good. So then from there, it's like, people would want to be motivated so we can to do covers similar to that. So it'll be just the scenery, the dance quality, the styling, and maybe also the videography too. So we often use our friend Irving. There's also Irving and Jane. They also do really high quality covers. So then we always tell them to help and then film and edit. So then everything would just look really nice in how they produce.
Okay. So it's kind of like setting the standard of, okay, this is what our covers look like. It's high quality and high produced. And then when you see the results of, okay, it does well and or we like how it looks, you think that's like what motivates people to not only join SHERO, but also to be motivated to produce those covers too?
I believe so.
Nice. Okay. I like that. I think that's very insightful. Anything else on SHERO you want to cover with like leadership or insights, takeaways? I think the main focus at least for my show is like, what can we pass on to the audience? Like, have you learned through the fire? Oh, that's very interesting. I didn't know that. Or, oh, that's very insightful.
In my position, I would say push yourself.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I need to push myself because I never thought to be a leader. So this was a bit like more handed to me. So I was like, I have to do this more, I have to do this more, I have to do this more. So from there, it's just pushing myself and challenging yourself to become like a better version of yourself. So that was just a learning experience for me for SHERO.
Nice. I love it. All right. Ready for rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Cool. First one is the billboard question. So if you could have a billboard, put up a sign for millions of people to see, what would it say?
Follow SHERO.
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah, definitely do that. Is that it? Anything else?
Yeah, just follow.
Perfect. What is your favorite failure or something challenging that you learned from? Something that set you up for later success?
Oh, yes, for this one. Okay, personally for me, I don't like to remember my failures. I like
wipe it out format.
Because if I keep remembering about it, it's just going to make me feel bad about myself.
Like ruminating on it.
Yeah. So, but I do, for all the experiences, I do learn from it and try something different. From there, it's just, okay, I need to move on. If I know what to do next. So it's just learning, and then I would know how to apply it to the next time.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like that. Was there anything that stood out that you're like, you definitely learned a lot from that? Okay, the outcome wasn't what you wanted, but you're like, okay, well, the good outcome is that I learned how to do this better or something like that. Anything come to mind?
Not on the top.
She's formatted it all from her brain.
No, yeah, I
Wiped it.
can't.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Is there, if you could give your younger self advice, what would it be now? Any age, any time period?
I would say to trust myself. Because a lot of times I feel like I can't. This is, for me, it's a lot of like mental barriers, but it's more, I should believe in myself more. Because a lot of times I don't, but then I do. I'm really grateful to have friends who believe in me and what I can do and what I could do also for the future. But a lot of times if I can't trust myself, then it holds me back.
Yeah.
So it'll be more believe in yourself.
Nice.
Trust yourself.
Good advice. And I guess on that note, do you foresee any sort of time frame of like passing the torch for someone else to take on SHERO, or do you think you're just going to do this forever? Or
as of right now, we are still handling me and Vio. We are going to take care of the teams, but then as of the other members, we haven't had a chance. We still might be thinking about it, but probably in the near future, we might have to hand it or add more to the leadership.
Okay, add more leadership spots to help with the responsibilities. Cool, makes sense. I always worry about that. Or actually, let me take a step back. For leadership, right?
Yes.
The way I see it is like it's always a constant process of finding and growing new leaders. Because at least for a team like Choreos, people graduate and they leave, or they're working in the new phase of life. So it's constantly a turnover of L-ship. And so for me, it's okay. So I need to keep on the lookout for new leaders and help develop them so that they can kind of like replace and recycle, like not recycle, but you know what I mean, like refresh that like group, that base of leadership.
Yes.
Because if you don't do that actively, what we have in a lot of different teams is like a phoenix year, which is all the leadership leaves or there's unresolved conflicts or problems. And then you have a whole batch of really new, fresh people who don't know what they're doing or like they don't have experience and they just have to learn as they go. And then the team suffers for that. So my focus is like always trying to develop a new batch so that like we're rotating of like people out and in. But it's like, I know that no one is going to be in this position forever. So therefore we have to keep that culture of constantly finding new leaders and developing them. Yeah. And yeah, aside from me, who's probably going to be there forever, I'm always looking for new people to be like, all right, this person has potential. And then just kind of peer pressuring them to be leaders. And then not peer pressuring, but just encouraging growth and being like, hey, this team isn't just about you. It's about giving back to other people. So if you guys have had a good experience, which is my focus for the team is to have the newbies have such a good experience that they want to stay for 2, 3, 4 years and that they want to eventually become leaders to give back to their newbies, if that makes sense. So I think about that, which is why I'm like so impressed that you guys do it with like just only a handful of people and it's just you guys for now. And you guys do a really good job with, you know, even though you don't have other officer positions, I still think you're developing leaders, just obviously not on an official capacity. But yeah, that's just like my tangent thoughts on that.
I think because we're also like a young team because we only started from 2022.
Right.
So I think it's only been 4 years compared to a lot of teams. I'm not sure how long is Choreos.
This is our 10 year. This is our 10th era year.
Wow.
As of this month, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. Side tangent, I'm trying to hit that record of being on the team the longest. So the record right now is 6.5 to 6.8 years. And so I just need to do 2 more years to hit 7.5, something like that.
Wow.
So I'm like, I have a 2-year lease on Choreos still. So I'm going to be there for 2 more years.
And for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm for sure because I'm like, yeah, I'm competitive in that way. I want to have the record.
Nice.
I don't think anyone else is going to stay on the team for 7 years, so I might as well just do that.
Oh.
And I'm also the oldest person on the team now.
Yeah, side question. How do you feel about being the oldest?
I mean, there's a huge age gap. Someone did this thing that's like shots fired where it's like they put all the birthdays and then the ages in
saw
order.
That.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder who's the oldest. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
And then so it's me, and then there's a 5-year gap, and then there's my little Lisa who's 27.
Oh.
And so I was like, God damn it.
Oh.
And then from there, it's 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, all the way to 18. And we've had a 17-year-old on our team before too.
Oh.
So it's just 17 through 27, and then a 5-6 year gap, and then me. I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
Wow.
There's a disconnect. So it's kind of like, obviously there's generational, like they're super into K-pop. I'm not. And they're like college students and I'm obviously not. And they have their things they're interested in. And so I'm just kind of like there. Just supervise and like just to make sure everyone's cool and like just to make it a safe space for them to grow and learn and to be leaders and develop their own artistry. That's like my function, is to make sure that the team is healthy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And then so I'm just like, all right, I'm the adult, making sure everyone's healthy, but otherwise you guys
The
lead the
adult.
team. Yeah. Cause I don't want to lead anything because there's no point in me being the bottleneck or the CEO of the team if they can't lead it themselves when I'm eventually gone. So that's why I talked about like the leadership stuff.
So how do they address you as like?
I mean, so my position is I'm the director of internal relations. And so I'm doing that next year as well. So that's just it. We have an L-ship of 11 now.
Yeah.
Before it was like 10 and then 9 before that. But like our L-ship now is like super solid compared to like before, where it was kind of like college students trying to figure it out. But now that we've had more mature people and put structures in place, like our L-ship is super solid. Like I'd put our L-ship against any other team's L-ship in terms of what we can get done, our communication, and 11 people is a team within itself. So my primary function is making sure that team of 11 is we're so cohesive and we can work through our problems or have difficult conversations. And that's my sole focus. Everything else, it's, you all need to do everything else because this is your team. I'm just here to make sure that L-ship is healthy and safe.
Oh, that's
and by
really
the
good.
by transit property, then the team will be healthy and safe if L-ship is functioning.
That's good.
Yeah.
Drama free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone has their challenges. But I think I really enjoy the process of helping to create like a healthy, safe team where like we all can trust each other. And then I believe that if everyone has a good level of safety and trust, we can do good work regardless.
That's really good.
Yeah. Sorry, let me just go back to you. That was like a super huge tangent. So rapid fire questions. Are there any habits or routines that are key for you to getting your results now? Like any things that keep you sane that you do consistently, mindsets, processes?
I think in general for me, it's just being consistent.
Okay.
So
consistent in what way?
I would say, what do you mean, like dance or just in general?
In general, like as Shirley as a person, do you have any habits or routines that keep you sane or help you to achieve your goals?
Well, so with gym, I do like to gym like maybe once a week. But then for gym, it's not really more like just body goals and more, it's for me to relieve stress. So then for me, it's like, oh, I really actually enjoy gym because, so okay, like when I was really young, it's like when I get really mad at my mom, I start doing like push-ups in my room. So I was like, I'm mad. Yeah, so I do that. So then, I don't know, gym is just really stress relieving for me. Yeah. So I just doing that. And then I think in general, I just think coming back from maybe the Yelp leads, consistency with reviews or on dance teams, like consistency with that we're always working. I would say just consistency in general.
Okay. So being consistent with everything that you do because, that's like the way to achieve everything. Gotcha. I like that. Who do you consider successful and how do you define success? Like anyone come to mind? It could be people friends, family, or like a famous person or whatever. Who do you consider successful and how do you define success?
I think, was this a similar question to the influences?
It could be, yeah.
Let's see. I think maybe, I guess besides SHERO.
Yeah, my team's successful.
I'm really proud that SHERO's growing so well. And especially it's only been 4 years and then we hit the 60K mark. And it's, I'm hoping that we can get like 100K for subscribers. We get that YouTube plaque. I was like, we'll have our own and it'll be really nice and rewarding. So then with that, it's just, with SHERO, and then, SHERO can't grow without, our friend Vio. Vio does definitely do a lot for SHERO, and she did help with building the structure and everything. Let's see, idols. So I guess my favorite dance idol would be Kai.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoy his way of dancing. He's really like passionate with the way he dances, and that just made me so inspired. It's like, I want to like dance like him. And it's a lot coming back to, I guess, like my dance journey. It's coming back. This looks so cool. I want to learn it. See walking. Jab walking. I want to learn that too. So breaking. So I was always trying new things. So that made me inspired to become who I am.
Nice. Do you have a definition or how you define like the term success? Oh, this person's successful because I define success as this. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
I would say if they're doing well, if someone who's maybe active or just saying. I would say also getting opportunities. If you see someone who's getting so much opportunities, wow, I admire their work and like how hard they're working just to gain so much stuff. And then they're able to achieve more and like, expand how they're doing.
Okay. So like working hard and then seeing the results of that, which are like achieving different things. If time and money weren't an obstacle, what would you be doing?
I would be traveling.
Oh, where to?
I just want to travel certain places on Instagram. You see like, this really nice like waterfalls or hiking spots. Yeah, actually this year I will be traveling to Taiwan and Korea.
Ooh, nice.
Just for vacation.
Yeah.
For that, I want to also visit Europe. I want to try maybe also like the best food, going to, trying the best croissant or something. Or, going to Hawaii. I'm going to try the best spam musubi. So I want to try so many different things. I just want to see the world.
Spoken like a true foodie. You're like, travel so I can try the food.
Yes.
How do you spend most of your time?
I would say there isn't a category I spend most if it's not dance, gym, play with my dog, games. I would say I keep it all maybe like well balanced.
Yeah.
So there's not something like I put too much time into, if not dance. Yeah.
Nice. I love it. I feel like we're the same too. Like I equally diversify my stuff, so it's not all just one.
Yeah.
Last rapid fire question. Any favorite books, movies, articles, resources that you share or recommend the most? Media or songs, artists, anything you recommend?
I think I've been so kept up with K-pop and having to I don't know, with K-pop it's always it has to be the new trend kind of thing. I feel like, I don't know, with K-pop it's a bit repetitive at the same time, but I think as of now, recently, not too much.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's all good. Cool. All right, let's go into ending questions. We're about to wrap up. So I like to end with gratitude as always. So Shirley, what are you grateful for?
Oh, yes. I'm grateful for everyone who just keeps supporting me, believes in me, and just trusts me to do everything that it's like the mental barrier. But I really appreciate everyone who always believes in me and says I'm doing a good job. It's really heartwarming because, yes, a lot of times I don't believe in myself.
I love that. Any final ask from the audience or any final takeaways that you want them to get from this episode, aside from following Shero's, which you should?
It's a bit cliche, but I would say love yourself, always work on yourself, put everything you can on yourself to become the better version, and then just focus.
Nice. I love that a lot. All right, Shirley. Well, that's pretty much it. Where can we find you if people want to reach out or connect or see what you're up to?
You can follow me on Instagram, Wu Shirley_J. You can follow us on SHERO, SHERO Yes, it's right there.
Nice. Yes, and I will link it in the show notes as well, so you can click on those links and check them out, see what they're up to.
Yes, thank you so much.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for being here, Shirley. Again, I really appreciate it. I'm glad you were on my season 1. And so now for the audience, thank you guys for tuning in again. And just a reminder to always be kind to other people as well as yourself especially. And remember that you can always learn something from people. You just got to take the time to listen. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you guys.